Hi, Lula.
Okay.
Whew, emotion.
Okay.
Emotion is the most important thing when it comes to a vocal performance for me. Um, Emotional music has always been the kind of music that I attach to or I love.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been that way since I was little. Uh, the first thing that I paid attention to with music was probably synthesizers. So
Okay.
these sounds of lasers or what I thought were lasers captivated me first. But on the very same song that I heard that synthesizer, I heard an amazing voice. And that song was a song called Situation by Yazoo. And the singer was
Okay.
Alison Moyet. And she is a vocalist that has an incredible ability to convey emotion. So growing up, I always listened to and looked for singers that displayed that kind of emotion. People like Sinead O'Connor, people like Elizabeth Fraser from the Cocteau Twins, who sings Teardrop for Massive Attack, or um, in men, even in the pop world, Michael Hutchins from In Excess, he had this great emotion in his voice. So I always was drawn to the emotionality of a voice before anything else, I think. Eh, it's less now,
Okay.
like computers and software have, they've, like, technology has progressed so uh, quickly and also so like impressively that some of the sounds that you can get out of a computer are really
Okay.
comparable to what you're getting out of those old analog machines. Um, the thing I love about the analog machines, especially though, is the tactile nature,
Yeah.
touching. You know,
Hmm.
the ability to manipulate with your hands the machine. So I
Yeah.
would say I still definitely have a soft spot for the analog because
Hmm.
they are instruments you engage with. The
Okay.
computer, it can create incredible sounds, but it is a much more visual and visual auditory experience versus hands on audio experience, if you know what I mean. So that's why
Yeah.
I also love organic instruments. I love violins, I love cellos, I love pianos.
Hmm.
This new EP, definitely, I mean, I was playing with one analog instrument,
Yeah.
which was creating acid bass lines. And I was just having fun making cool bass lines with acid. But I was recording a project for the singer of Someone Else's Calling, Hips and Lips, which is a kind of alt indie project. And we were recording live drummers, we were saxophones, and all kinds of instruments. But we had time to record electronic music because one of the sessions was finished.
Hmm.
And I said, "Would you like to sing on a couple dance tracks?" And Adlin was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So these dance tracks definitely refer or have this, they pay homage and have a love for the sound of the club in the late 80s and the 90s, the early 90s.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
that was really specifically for that EP. And I'm currently, I'm always quite creative and writing. And
Okay.
my next EP and the future EPs will probably be dedicated to, well, they will be dedicated to
Wow.
different sounds from different dance floors. So,
Yeah.
you know, the 90s and techno and acid are one thing, but new wave and Italo disco and high
Yeah.
energy is another thing. So the next EP could feel more like that, going
Wow.
to a different dance floor, you know?
Yeah.
And the next EP after that, you know, in a way, with this series of EPs I plan on putting out, I want to really pay homage or
Mhm.
recognize the different clubs that played such an important part of my life. And in the 90s, I was in New York and I was
Okay.
dancing to Latin house, and it was all Latin house music. So I probably will put out a record of Latin house music, you know, or Latin influenced music.
Oh,
So it's a return to the dance floor, but the dance floor for me is very big. So it's funny because the bass sound on that song, it really originated with me just making a sound with my voice going,
oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, well, I started to say chicka chicka, chicka chicka, chicka chicka.
Wow.
And that was the first sort of rhythmic thing. And then on top of that, well, we had an acid line already, but I put this chukka chukka, chukka chukka,
Oh,
chukka chukka
wow.
underneath it.
Mhm.
And then I put a couple of different bass notes that sort of accentuated that rhythm, you know?
Wow.
And it was
Mhm.
built from there. But I have to give credit to Quinn Whaley, who is from Paranoid London, and Decius,
Mhm.
because when I brought the songs to him, he took the bass lines and made them even freakier, if
Okay.
you know.
Uh-huh.
So we used a couple instruments that almost didn't double time the bass line or my chugga 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 chugga, but
Mhm.
it played with the sound, you know,
Wow.
and made it more rhythmic. So I would say it's definitely a combination of the musical harmonic bass line, but then doing something that is going to jumble it or twist it or change it to make it even more rhythmic and more danceable, more fun. So there was one song that was written before all the other songs, and
Oh,
that
other.
was
Uh-huh.
that was called Crossed Lines.
Okay.
That song, which is the last single, that was written before the rest of the EP. And I had
Okay.
already, I knew with Crossed Lines, which is in a way the song that is maybe the most different on the record. It
Okay.
is the
Mhm.
most emotional, it is the most sensitive, but I really wanted to acknowledge and play with the sound of ambient techno. So you had bands like Orbital or The Orb in the 90s that would create these really lush atmospheres. And
Mhm.
they usually didn't have vocals, but they were playing with very delicate sounds. Aphex Twin also did this.
Mhm.
So that song came first. And
Okay.
then the other songs came later in that session that I was describing when I had a couple of acid bass lines that I had
Mhm.
written. And from there, we went and
Okay.
had fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I say I'm not very precious about music.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I say that because as an artist, I don't believe that I have like a limited amount of creativity. I
Okay.
think as human beings, we have unlimited creativity.
Okay.
So I never get too worried about one thing or another, one mistake or another. Sometimes I will listen to my old songs
Mm-hmm.
and I will think, oh, I would have done that differently. But I
Okay.
don't think of it as a mistake. I'm not that precious about it. It just is what it was at the time. Uh,
Yeah.
and in the making of this new record, we had all of these tracks on the computer, and there was one track that was muted, and
Okay.
it's like I had forgotten about it, and I pushed unmute, and it added this crazy
Wow.
element
Mm-hmm.
of bouncing sounds. And I
Okay.
said to Quinn Whaley, who produced it with me, I said, "Oh, that was a an experiment. I didn't want it
Mm-hmm.
in the song." And he said, "Wait, wait, wait. Listen to it. It sounds cool." And oh yeah, actually, it sounds really cool. And now it's one of my favorite parts of the song. Well, I mean, I think it's a big force in the landscape of the music industry. You know, there's a electronic music is years ago, it was maybe considered a bit niche or
Okay.
for specific listeners. And now you have seen pop artists really explore electronic music. So electronic music is I think it's on par with rock and roll, if you will. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
we treat it as the same thing. It's like I feel there was a bit more, we had to fight, electronic musicians had to fight a little bit more for our music to be taken seriously. But now you see it's everywhere, you know? And
Yeah.
bands like Daft Punk and artists like Bjork, they really helped create for the masses, for the public,
Okay.
an acceptance of electronic music, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, well, for sure. And also, just to let you know, I'll be in Mexico soon.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
you have Art Week coming, and we
Okay.
have a little event happening at Boca del Rio,
Okay.
and we have a really cool Mexican DJ playing with me. And
Oh.
it's on the 5th of February. Um, but you can see me. I really only use my main social media is Instagram. And
Okay.
this is like the one that I'm most happy and comfortable with.
Okay.
Um, but you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Uh, I don't participate in any Twitter or X or anything like this. But I've even thought about playing with TikTok lately. So
Okay.
we don't know. It might end up that you can find me on TikTok as well.
Yeah. Yeah, TikTok. And Andre, Hercules and Love Affair is a big band, is a big collective. And thank you so much for this conversation. We definitely love your music in Mexico. And
Well, I love Mexico, you know.
I know, and and we are excited for you to come back again in Mexico.
We will be coming. I'll be coming in DJing, and you'll be
Okay.
seeing the band as well.
Yeah, my song favorite all times uh, of Hercules is blind. Is a wow. Eh,
Yeah, but it is. It's the first one I. It's the first one I wrote.
yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, Andy, thank
you
you so
love the
much
first
for
one.
this conversation, and
Thank
I love
you.
you. I love
Yeah.
you so much.
Much love.